Where's the remote? Found it.
Turn off the lights.
All right.
Did you grab the drinks?
Yeah, I got them.
Okay, I'm making the popcorn.
It's starting. Come on.
All right. Okay, I'm here. Hit the button. Hi, I'm Jill.
I'm Gianna.
And welcome to
the We Watch It All podcast.
Yeah,
Where we watch it all and give you our opinions.
AKA the opinions still no one ever asked for.
So you spice up this one, but not the other podcast.
Oh, still that's wrong. Yeah. Whoopsie.
It was just what got me so off guard was you kind of like...
I made a face, I know.
Yeah,
my
and
jaw
you like
clenched.
lunged at the mic. You're like, hi!
No, because my jaw kind of clenched a little bit or clanked or whatever you want to call it. I don't crimped. I don't know what we'd call it.
Clicked. Popped.
I don't know. Did something and it wasn't
All right. Well, let's talk about these eel housewives of Orange County.
You know what?
It's Mon Mother all over again.
The sad part is I see that and I have just no desire to fix it when I spell the words wrong. Not words wrong, but I copied and pasted, so the R did not make it over from Word.
All right. But we are covering the Real Housewives of Orange County, season 11. The
saddest season ever.
With Miss Heather, Miss DeBro. And then, but here's the thing, you know.
She went out with a bang, though. I think this was a bang-up season.
Yeah.
Man, I think this was like the last of the good ones.
Oh, no, definitely, because we are on 12 right now
painful.
watching it.
It's painful. Painful. It's painful.
Absolutely. It's
like a forced watch.
I actually
not gonna lie.
look at this. Look, see, this is for my season 11. This is actually for 12. I have more for 12 but they're not good comments. They're negative.
They're
so if you're a big fan of season 12, I probably actually wouldn't want to watch this because.
And honest to God, how could you be?
You are a liar.
I really.
Somebody get you the Vicky Gunvalson shirt that says "crime lying" on it because that's what you are.
There's no way. But anyway,
you are not a true threat. Oh,
so what happened?
I'm saying if you like season 12 because it is just it's
so like.
boring. Hello.
Oh, you found a toy down there. So, like she said, 5 out of the 6 made it back.
We have Shannon, Vicky, Heather, Tamra, and Megan, and then Kelly.
Yeah,
is our new one.
Who left?
That's never good when we don't remember who left.
Damn.
Who left? Nobody.
Yeah, somebody had to leave.
No, nobody did leave. I think there was just. Check my old notes.
Somebody had to leave.
No, look, season 10. They just added another wife on. But the prior season they had Lizzie and they got rid of her.
Lizzie. That's who left. Lizzie.
Yeah, in season 9. And then Megan replaced her in 10. And then 11, nobody. They just added another housewife on. Okay. And let me tell you, 12, we'll get into that. But you add 2 more wives on and it's somehow worse.
Yeah, well, you needed 2 wives to equal up
Heather DeBruck. But we'll get into that then.
Yeah, it's a whole nother ballgame.
So we'll do this. We'll go over the storylines. So
we
have Vicky. She's trying to repair her relationship with the ladies post this cancer scandal.
She is in rough shape. No one is talking to her.
Yeah.
I mean...
It only gets worse, though, in my opinion.
I mean, so much so that she has no choice but to latch on to the new girl. And we all know how she feels about new girls.
No.
Not good. So
Which is why I think her and Kelly do butt heads sometimes.
Yeah, like
sometimes because
once Kelly realized she doesn't have to like glom onto her, she can blend with others. Yeah.
And then we have Heather. Hers is kind of Terry not having time for the family. It's kind of what I felt like because it wasn't. You know, she was kind of having like for her own storyline, a pretty slow season, sadly, if I'm being honest. And then we have Tamara. Hers is training for her fitness competition.
Yes.
Shannon once again is her and David's relationship. And then moving out of their house, which I
think the house is the big thing for them.
Well, that's the big one, but it's always the relationship is always the underline. Even in 12, it's the same storyline, which is so impressive that she's carried out the same storyline for like going on 4 seasons now, from what we've watched. And it's just like obviously like we're not in that peak of those seasons, but like the fact that people watched that.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you know what I mean?
Well, it's enough.
I'm sure
already.
people complained about it.
It is enough already.
I mean, at least she added like a second storyline to all these storylines after the first 2 seasons. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is moving out. Like, next season's the weight loss journey. So it's kind of like she added something.
And then Megan is having a baby.
Getting pregnant. Jimmy not being there. Being an absentee father. Already. And then we have Kelly, who is married to Mr. Leapfrog.
Yes.
He was the old president of Leapfrog. Yeah. The little, the game thing. And they are kind of together, but not really together.
I think their story is that they got separated. She tried to divorce him. And apparently because he is so, I don't know, Michael, whatever she wants to refer to him as.
Off, Mr. Leapfrog.
Well, he just wouldn't have it. And apparently she wanted to divorce him because he was very controlling and all this and that. Yeah. And they had him tested.
Which is kind of her story.
Found out that he was like a narcissistic personality or something. And, so she ended up getting back with him. And they have one daughter, Jolie. But we think that she studied the show before she came on. Yeah. And she actually did say it when we watched the reunion. Well, she said
she watched the season with Lydia and stopped. So that was like 2 seasons ago, but you could lie.
No, but you can get enough from that.
And she's watched the good enough seasons to know the base plot
And
line.
Who's to say? Like you said, who's to say what she watched? I could see her sitting there and binge watching and pulling it all down.
Because if you pay attention to how she acts, she studied the drama, she knows how to stir the pot. But in my opinion, the issue with her is she's a good pot stirrer, don't get me wrong. She knows what she's doing. The issue is she gets herself so drunk 90% of the time that she is stirring the pot that everything's spilling out of it. So she loses control and loses reign over the stirring the pot. Where otherwise, I think she'd be really good. But it's like that point where, like in the last season of Beverly Hills, Lisa Rinna stirred it too much that it was becoming unwatchable and annoying. And that's when she gets too crazy. She's too much. Okay. She's too overbearing.
When she drinks too much, she goes too far, and then it's like a child that hits one kid, and then you say, well, if you hit him back, now you're both in trouble. And that's what she does. Where she could have had the right away,
I'll say in
but then she goes
12,
too
she's
far.
A little bit better.
Yeah, well, because she watched season 11 and saw how bad she was.
Yeah,
I'm convinced she did that.
Probably.
And I believe she got on the show to get divorced.
Which I think most
Because
do.
I think she was trying to get on there to show how, especially when you watch season 12, she is just pulling out all the stops to make this guy look like an ass.
Yeah.
And point out, and sometimes he's not even doing anything. And I think he's
just
trying to...
we were just watching the finale party, and she was like... He made a comment or something about her boobs.
Yeah, but it was nothing
and
bad.
she was like... Ugh.
Yeah, like it was like, that's what happens when you're not into somebody.
He's like, what did I do? What did I do? And she's like trying to keep her conversation going with Megan. And I just have one weird thing.
No, it was Vicky that was there. She was.
Oh, I thought she was talking with Megan.
No, the boobs were Megan. The boobs. But then she did it again with Vicky, where he said something about her or something, and it wasn't anything bad, and she was just like, "Oh, this one, I'm so mad at him."
Too,
and I'm
like, I don't know if it was this season or the next season, because we watched these so close, I kind of forget. We don't record right after we watch the other season. They start to mesh, but. It's the same thing. He was painting a wall, and she was like, "You're gonna paint the wall like that."
I think that was last season.
I think it was. I can't really remember.
Or it was the very beginning of this.
Either way, it was something like that.
But she criticizes everything he does. Things. Oh no, maybe it was the beginning of the season where she critiques everything he does.
Which I had to point this out to you, and you said when I pointed this out because I wanted you to see it because I didn't want another moment where we were like. What? I didn't even hear the Tamara's grandmother saying, "Oh, I have to miss work." Something I've noticed. Feel free to go back and watch this, you guys. If you look at scenes with Kelly, she's chit-chatting. Her hair is positioned one way. Then it's positioned another way, like when the camera cuts back and she's done talking. You said, what does this mean? It doesn't mean anything. It's just something I've noticed. Her hair is like a different position. Like her bangs will be going the left way, then they'll go going the right, and then they'll be like standing up on top of her head. It's just something I've weirdly noticed that she's maybe she's just kind of like antsy and she's touching her hair.
Oh no, without a doubt she is.
But it was something that I noticed and I was like, it was just weird.
So who do we tackle first? Well, first, also with Kelly, let us say that Megan is the one that brought her in.
Oh, yeah, I did forget.
Yeah, she said she's been friends with her on and off for maybe
it was a year, I think she said. So Megan must have studied the show for Lydia and Alexis because she was like, I'm not going to fully be like, I'm full friends with her. I know her really well because you saw what happened that season with them.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think it's better if you do say that because then it shows the other lady like, wow.
She did try to hold... an allegiance to her to a certain degree.
Yeah, but
she would also call her out when she did stuff that was like...
I forgot that's who introduced her.
I made sure to write that down. I also made sure to write down that I'm not a fan, but, that's neither here nor there.
No, I'm not either a fan of
Kelly. She's got a mouse up her butt.
Well, either way. We're not talking about Kelly. We're talking about Sissy. maybe Kelly does too. I don't know.
I could.
But
Well, this season she put a lot of stuff up her.
Yeah, this is just. I'm not a fan of her. She's a little too much for me. And listen, I'm not gonna lie. The next season she's a little bit more doable. But I know that as we go on, I know she makes it all the way up to the 15th. Is
that a siren?
It's a kid. Season 11, she was annoying and I didn't like her too much. Season 12, she reeled it back in. Not as bad. She was not one of the lowest parts of season 12.
No, because I think there were other people that
were worse than her.
Shannon. Oh, I'm sorry.
I know I love Shannon, but we'll get into
she's
it.
hard to watch.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it in season. We'll be, you come back tomorrow for the next one, you guys.
Hard to watch.
But I know she does go Kelly back to being worse in season 15 because I know people were like at this point begging Bravo to get rid of her because she was so bad.
Yeah, no, she
like
gets
I
bad.
remember because that was like the time where like if you follow one Bravo account, they typically talk about everything Bravo. But it's like I was following them obviously for Beverly Hills, New Jersey, and New York. So they were posting stuff about that, and I'm literally seeing people be like, "Fire Kelly, fire Kelly, fire Kelly," and Bravo was just not listening. But I mean, I don't know much about the other ladies. I really only knew about Kelly because of everybody would like get rid of Kelly. So
it could have just been they had nobody.
It was me.
Not me. Could have been that they had nobody to replace her at the time, maybe, or something, or no good prospects or something. I don't know, but I know it goes down and out. I think, especially when COVID hits. I think for the OC, they kind of take a turn, don't they? Yeah.
It's probably their worst seasons, which we'll have to speed through that. Yeah, that's all I was gonna say on Kelly.
So Vicky would be our first one up. No?
Yeah, I don't have much for Vicky. One of my favorite scenes though is, I mean, those kids of Brianna's. No offense, but they are tyrants.
Well, she says they are.
No, I know,
rough.
but
I mean, I think they listen to Brianna better than
my favorite was
Vicky.
They had like a montage of Vicky trying to get these kids ready and out the door, and one's in the fridge and the other one's standing outside the fridge. I think it's a little one, and he's just screaming.
Yeah.
Which listen up, next door. Take this advice from Vicky. She said, "You want an apple? Here, take an apple." And she shoved it right in the kid's trapper, like shut it, and he put the apple in there. And
she corked it.
I think that was probably my favorite scene for Vicky this whole season because I don't know, she was kind of like a weak link, and
because nobody was really talking to her, so it was very hard.
Thing. I actually wrote this down. This was one of my overall thoughts, but I felt watching the whole season and then getting to the reunion that they had the couches split up. They had Tamra, Shannon, and Heather on the left. And then on the right, they had Vicky, Kelly, and Megan. And if I was actively watching that show and not knowing who was coming back next season, I would have thought they would have gotten rid of Vicky, Kelly, and Megan. Wiped them out.
Yeah.
That's just what I would have... That's what I would have thought because nobody was liking Vicky. To the point where, like, Kelly was still bickering with her. Megan was still bickering with her. And I just felt like Megan, at this point, was having no storyline. And you see that in season 12 for sure.
Yeah, but I think they knew she was coming back next season with the IVF. So that's why I think they...
No, she's doing the IVF.
But that's what I'm saying, like...
What?
That because she did the IVF, like, that she would be obviously...
Having the
baby. Yeah. Like,
no,
so...
I know, but it's like... I just would... If I would have pictured that whole couch getting wiped up, because I think they probably had the lackluster of the storyline, even though they were the drama. But I think it was just nobody.
Megan will, like, she'll do what you're saying Kelly needs to do. Like, she'll call it out and say it like it is without being drunk, and that's what you need. Like, you need like a voice of reason.
I thought Megan was
no
good, but I just felt like her storyline with the everybody always hates a baby storyline that I've seen from online. So I felt like they would have gotten rid of that whole couch and just got 3 new ones or at least 2 new ones. But that's just, I don't know. That's what I felt like. I felt like Vicky had such a lackluster season. I know she leaves after 13.
But that's the whole point, is to have her try to fight back as the underdog to get back in the good graces. But so because of that, she ends up doing a lot of filming with Brianna and the kids. And I mean, she does have a storyline there because she is bringing Brianna back up here to the OC because she has had like an infection in her leg and she's got stuff going on.
Yeah, I think she ends up, they said she had lupus.
Yeah, she ends up in the end with lupus, but it takes a long time for her to like get the leg under control. Then she has an infection somewhere else. And I mean, she was still going for tests like towards the end of this.
It was pretty
until
much like, I don't think it was the reunion.
That she finally said it. Yeah, at the reunion they finally had a result of what she had, but I think they were still trying to find the source of what caused the whole infection situation.
tell me it didn't sound like someone just tried to open our door.
So, Vicky flies down to Oklahoma to pick Brianna up and drive her car back up here. And the husband stays behind because he's still waiting for his discharge papers. And
which I think even in this next season, he's still there.
Yeah, no, he was. Yeah,
he's not back yet.
But I think he's getting closer or something. I'm not really sure. But Vicky bought her a house that she will pay back when they sell their house in Oklahoma.
You told me that now they live in Chicago, so I don't think he ever is going to get this under.
Well, at the end of this 12th season, it said that she moved to North Carolina. So I'm not sure what's going on. But I could have sworn I saw her in Chicago, but I could be wrong. Maybe she was visiting family because she does have a family there.
Oh, maybe.
But I thought that's where it said she was located, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I feel like that's what Vicky's storyline was, though, pretty much was either getting back friends with everybody or...
Yeah, no, that's Brianna. What it was.
Because Kelly, her saving grace was honestly Kelly. That's how I think she got back in with everybody, was because she was hanging around with Kelly, and Kelly was trying to hang around with the new girls, and that's kind of like, I think, how they got back together.
Well, and then everybody started hating Kelly once they went on the girls' trip, so it kind of helped her.
That's what I think.
That it
definitely.
She became the villain now this season, where it was like reeling off of Vicky's last season being the villain, because there's always one main person who's like the villain of the season. And then it drifted into being Kelly, so everybody went up against Kelly, so it worked for her.
What helped Vicky was when Tamra went to Kelly's beach party, and she made up with Vicky, or said she'll see how things go, and I think because that's how she was able to get invited to the Glamis trip, and those things, and get back into their like good graces. Because once Kelly goes off the rails in Ireland, she is definitely pitted up against them. And even though Vicky's still friends with her, she should be supporting her, she was saying, and she just kind of left her out there, which I do,
because she even does it in this in season 12. She kind of says now that, like, after the whole Brooke situation, that she's not going to get involved to drama. She's just going to walk away from it, because that's what she just did when they went to Iceland in season 12. She walked away. And she straight up walked away and went into the van.
Yeah, and she left, like, Peggy holding the bag with some stuff, so, which, we'll get into that. Yeah. But she actually had a nice thing where, once everybody was talking, she invited people to go for a trip for her birthday to, I think that's the Palm Deserts, where Merv Griffin's estate is. I think it's, like, the Palm Deserts or something, and she invited them to go there for her birthday. Brianna came. She flew her husband in Ryan as a surprise. So that was really nice. I think only Gretchen... No. I think Tamra...
I don't remember who went. It feels like it was forever ago.
I know Heather didn't go. I don't think Megan went either. Kelly went. I think it was just Kelly and Tamra, actually.
Yeah, I think so. I think... No, maybe Megan did go. I don't know. Maybe she didn't go because of the IVF thing.
I don't remember her being there for some reason. I thought she felt sick, or I don't know. But she obviously didn't make that much of an impression because I didn't write her down, and I don't remember her name. But like I told you, those of you that have been truly watching, that house was used in a prior Real Housewives episode of the OC when Gretchen went with her parents to...
Yeah, I didn't recognize it.
With Slade, when he went to, like, truly meet the parents and, like, spend the weekend with them, it was the Merv Griffin estate. So who would be next? Maybe Tamara?
Yeah, we could do Tamara. I don't have any comments on Tamara at all.
What?
No.
Well, you know what? Tamara, she had a story, but she didn't have... It was nothing crazy, because she was just doing the fitness competition, and Ryan and the girlfriend, which could be predicted, are fighting.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they be? Oh, I don't know. They met on Instagram, so of course you don't. Good thing he got her pregnant and not married her. Although actually married probably would have been better. He moved out of the apartment. Eddie tells her to stop getting involved, of course, because that's what Eddie does. He's the voice of reason. Thank God. What else does she do? Oh, she hosts. I didn't understand this party thing, and I mean it was great because it was the first exploded thing that Kelly did, where you really saw who she was, but. She invited the girls to have a sushi party, Tamara, for her and Megan, because her competition was coming up.
Oh yeah, it was like the last time they could drink
or something, and like
serious.
and well, for her, like, eat fish, because when you're pregnant you're supposed to eat like raw fish.
Well, yeah, no, it was just gonna be an everything, like, this is what we can eat and this is what we can't drink. So
she was having like a sushi party, and she had it at some fancy, like, actual like sushi place. We had to take her shoes off, sit on the floor, the whole bit. And apparently, just to know that why she exploded, I didn't realize that. She, I think, explained it at the reunion, where Heather said the reason I went off so upsetting was because I guess that was the last place that they were with her brother-in-law or something.
Yeah.
Before he died. But Kelly, like, this is what I don't like, Kelly. They're talking about, because Vicky wasn't there for that one. This was when they were still not really talking. They were like
something else happened. This was after Kelly's house, but then I think they got into a fight again.
Yeah, this is when they were still trying to work it out.
It's really hard to figure out, like,
because 1 minute they're in, 1 minute they're not.
Really, this is like this and the next season.
They're back and forth constantly on who's
they're
talking
just
to who.
Going.
Yeah,
you don't never know who's really.
No, because this season it's like the only constant I'd have to say was Heather, Shannon, and Tamara. Those three were a constant. It was almost like a little trio of a bully, kind of, because they were really tight. But one minute...
they split the group down perfectly, kind of.
1 minute Kelly was with the group, then sometimes she wasn't with the group, and she was on Vicky, and then sometimes Vicky was in, and Kelly was kind of out. It was weird.
And Megan was kind of... I'd say she was more...
neutral. She was mad at Vicky, I think, for something.
Yeah. Well, no. It happened after Glamis, when she didn't talk to them. That's where she kind of came back to, like, Tamara, Heather, and Shannon's group. Yeah. So it's kind of, she was kind of bouncing around between the groups, but it was never, like, something where they were like, you can't hang out with this other group because you're hanging out with us, weird kind of thing that she had. Yeah. She kind of got lucky. She kind of was like a Dolores. Where she, like, mixed and mingled with both groups and never really was in trouble with anything.
For whatever reason. I don't know who she was referring to. I can't remember who Kelly was referring to, that she said it affects her life or something. But she was yelling about somebody. And
she was just yelling.
I don't know if she was yelling at Vicky or who she was yelling, that she called Tamara, like...
I'll see you next Tuesday.
Yeah, see you next Tuesday. And then she said to Shannon, I think,
No. She didn't call Tamara see you next Tuesday. She called her an effing F.
Yeah, I mean...
that was Tamara. I don't...
Stupid idiot or dummy
like
or something.
That. But she called somebody else to see you
dumb
next
or something.
Tuesday. Yeah.
I think it was Shannon.
I think she called Shannon
that. She called Shannon that. Yeah, and then before you knew it, she was... Once she said the see you next Tuesday to Shannon, that, like, Heather erupted and was like... And I don't like when Heather does that. She's telling people to leave and stuff. I know she just gets, like, wild and doesn't know what else to say. But... Yeah. I can't stand when Kelly gets like that and gets stupid. And then, like, once Heather left, she's, like, imitating her and making fun of her and stuff. And that's, like, where she gets, like, sometimes you apologize, but, like, sometimes, like, it's just, I don't know, you're acting too stupid to
even. And then at the reunion, Andy was like, do you feel, like, bad about anything you've done or how you acted? She's like, no. She's like, why should I be? No. Which is just so, oh, God, here comes Super. Which is just so crazy to me that you can just do whatever and feel nothing.
She doesn't. Yeah, she's one of those.
So insane to me, which I guess is like why I guess Bravo probably did like her, because she would just do and say anything and feel no remorse.
So then also she organizes a trip to Glamis for Eddie's birthday, and
he's gonna poke his eye out. He rubs his head on this little tray table.
Don't know how he does. He's lucky that it's very rounded, because he definitely is gonna poke his eye out
or give himself a concussion. Either one.
This was probably the worst part. Somehow Vicky at this point was back in the good graces and got an invitation to Glamis.
Yeah,
it was all the girls went except for Megan and Shannon, because with Shannon was funny though. Megan didn't go because she said that the doctors and Ed and Jimmy didn't want her, obviously in a doom buggy, which I understand that to a certain degree. But like the girls were saying, she could have came and just participated.
But you're just gonna
but that's
that was the main part, was going on these doom buggies. So you were just gonna sit there.
Yeah, I agreed. So
that was
And then Shannon said she wasn't coming. Well, first she didn't say she wasn't coming. First she sounded like she was on board. Yeah. And then all of a sudden when she said, so who's coming or who's going, and she listed the people and said Vicky and Kelly. She goes, and she was not having Vicky at all, because in the very beginning she said, I do not want to be friends with her. I have no desire to be friends with her. The reason with Kelly though, this was after the 70s party. Yeah.
So that's what happened was Vicky was fighting with David at the 70s party, and Kelly and her were fighting.
Yeah. So she didn't want to talk to them either.
And so that's kind of when she said that. She was like, yeah, no, the doctor, my lungs.
Which she said the doctor said she can't be by sand.
But what's so funny was in the reunion, Kelly actually stood up for her when they were bringing up that part about why they weren't there at the desert. Kelly was like, yeah, you've never heard her cough? She's got this, like, cough, and she's... You know,
I don't know. I never heard her really cough though, but maybe, who knows? I know.
Well, she said she didn't say it was cough. She said it was more of like a clear her throat.
Yeah, she talks about all the stuff that she brings with her and crap. So later on in the show, so I get it. But yeah, but that's what was her beef, was that she had a 70th party with David. For what reason? No reason, right? Just to have a party. It wasn't anybody's birthday or anything, right?
I don't know.
I don't think she did. I think she just had a party to have a party. I don't know why she did that.
Yeah, I think it was just a party.
But she wanted people to get dressed up in 70s outfits. And hers and her husband's were the worst, in all honesty. But they truly did look like Mr. and Mrs. Roper.
But my favorite thing was when her and her family go to find these costumes, they go and they put on these wigs. And the funny thing is, if you look in, it was like a cave and it had wigs in it. If you look right on the outside on the wall, it says, please do not open the wigs. And they're in there putting the wigs on. When there's and it was like a decent sign that I saw it. That said,
you're never supposed to do that.
Don't anyway. Put the wigs on your head. Don't take them out of the package. And they were just here we go. Try this wig. Here, try this wig. And I was like, all right, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's the sad part, is that causes the rift there. So that's how come they're not at this Glamis thing. But the girls go in the dune buggy. And Tamara has been experienced in this. But when you watch the way she drove it up over the hill.
The wheel, the back, it looked like, I tried to pause it.
But the front wheel
wheel got stuck.
Well, the front wheel missed, like, when it went to turn. I think the wheel kind of, like, bent under when it hit the tip of the hill. And then... like, it had nowhere to go. Like, so I don't think it was able to,
it was like when she came up,
it didn't make contact with the ground.
It kind of did like a slight, like it flew up a little bit, and she turned it, and that wheel was like turning,
when the
slipped.
When the wheel came down, it was turned.
Bar of it
and it
hit
rolled.
the
It was
sand
bad,
peak,
though.
and then they flipped over, and you can actually see why I think Tamara and Vicky are the worst, are because Tamara said the roof fell down on her head, which 100%, if you pause it, you can see that it. Once it flips, it kind of misses Heather.
But they said it hit Heather's helmet, and then it landed on Tamara.
Well, but if you look, it does, like, it will hit her first, but when you see the thing go in, once the car comes over to flip onto Tamara's side, that's where, like, all the momentum hits right on Tamara's side. That's why I think the roof broke off. And you can see the kind of in the back, it's like a diagonal. It looks like it falls off on Vicky's side. I'm not going to lie, I do think Vicky was a little dramatic on her stuff.
Even her own daughter said she was too dramatic.
I think that's why they were the worst. But I'm impressed that Kelly came out with nothing, because you could actually see Vicky's helmet smack into her own head. Like,
she said that.
I mean, she could have had a concussion.
She probably did. I'm sure she probably had a little bit of something.
And just didn't get tested. And
yeah, she didn't go anywhere, because she was, like, okay enough that you just gotta watch
Heather,
the person.
though. Heather just jumping right out of there and taking care of the situation.
Yeah, that's a very Heather-like.
No, but I'm just saying, like, she, like, it was like she just walked up on the buggy and got it. Like, that's what was more, like, so amazing.
Was that the way they do it, it was so dramatic. Like, it was after the thing, you just see the car sitting there quiet, and then all of a sudden you hear everybody, like, screaming or whatever, and then you hear her saying, don't anybody move, because you don't know if you have any kind of, like, back problems. And Kelly took her helmet off to put it back on, and she couldn't get it back on properly, so when she rolled, went the helmet. So she is lucky she didn't get more hurt, and the sad part is, like, their kids were in the other dune buggy, I think, with, like, Eddie. And, like, so they saw all that, too. So that's scary, for them, but...
Well, mentioning the kids, one of my favorite things was at night when they first got there, Vicky just starts going up the sand dunes. And I guess she didn't realize that you can't be up there because there's not, like, a certain amount of time.
To be honest with you, in her defense, I wouldn't have thought about it either.
Because it's night, I would have thought you have to ride for a certain time. But no, the best part is when she's going up there, you hear how their son go, is she drunk? And she's like, no, that's just who she is. And he's like,
you sure?
Okay.
Like, he kept asking. Like,
he was like genuinely concerned.
He was
like,
very
why?
Heather. He was very Heather, because Kelly threw up in there. Heather rented a huge RV, and Kelly, she gets motion sickness and whatnot, so she threw up in the RV, and in the back. And this was where Heather and her son were going to stay. So when she got out, Tamara had rented RVs for everybody, but they were not like Heather's. They were just basic. They were nice still. They were very nice. But they were basic on the outside. So he said when she got out, she goes, Kelly, now you have your own RV to throw up in. And she took it like he wasn't being sarcastic, but it was very Heather-esque that I was just like, no, that kid meant that, like, get the F out of mine and throw up in your own. Thanks for stinking ours up, you know. But of course this, as we said, takes a turn for the worst. And because Heather, what are you doing, you wackadoo? Because Vicky gets airlifted out by a helicopter. Tamara gets taken locally. They carry her off of the sand dunes, which is very hard because, like you said...
Well, no, they actually did. They end up carrying her to, like, a little...
Yeah, but you had to get her to that, and then they drove her out of there. But still, it's like, again, you had to get all the way out onto the main place where then you could get into an ambulance and go to where you need to go to. Why they split them up, I'm not really sure what went on there. Like, why you didn't have more than one ambulance. I didn't understand that.
I don't know if it was...
Especially for something like this, like a doomed place.
I don't know if it was that or if it was... I don't know if it was because of that or if it was more of, like, because... Vicky was saying her arms are going numb. She can't move her neck. To me, that
it could have been that.
Oh, what even was that sound?
I have no idea.
But nothing even popped up.
I have no idea.
But I don't know if it was that or maybe it was like, I mean, when I looked at it, I was like, Tamara looked more like I couldn't see Tamara at all. Like Vicky, I heard speaking, saying, "Oh, my hands are going numb. I don't feel."
I don't know.
Tamara,
if they did
I
that
never
on
heard
purpose.
her
They kept
speak.
You only heard her speak once when Heather was talking to her, and she was saying, "I'm so worried. I'm so upset. I'm so sorry that this happened. Like I feel like it's all my fault or something." She, because I guess in her mind she's thinking like I was driving the car. If something, if I killed one of these ladies, like, and she kept saying that.
Well,
like,
she even said at the reunion when the roof caved in on her, she thought it was a body laying on top of her body because of how heavy it was.
Yeah, so that is scary and that's sad and that's a risk you're taking though, driving those cars like that. But yeah, it became very problematic because, which it was a little confusing because oddly enough, Megan and Shannon were getting kind of chummy, which was weird. And not so much chummy, but they were starting to get back to like talking or whatever. And she invites Megan to Palm Desert because she has a house there with Jim and they're there enjoying their weekend, whatever, because they couldn't go to Glamis. But I guess Glamis is kind of close, but not really. And they were saying that the girls, Heather and Kelly, were saying that they're like 2 hours from the hospital where Vicky went. And
yeah, because they took her to Palm Springs.
They took her to Palm Springs. So for her to get to them, she's in Palm Springs, Megan. So for her to get,
I think they said she was actually in La Quinta.
Yeah, so for her to get to Vicky would have been quicker, like maybe 45 minutes, if that, opposed to the girls. And which I think they would have went with her, but they wouldn't even let anybody go with her in the helicopter or anything.
Yeah, because Kelly said she was.
Yeah. So of course, and like Heather said, I came up in an RV. So what would you like me to do? I also have my son, and see things you don't see. She said at the reunion, it wasn't just my son that was with me. I had Tamara's kids.
Yeah.
So obviously Tamara's kids were there. We just didn't see them.
They can't be filmed.
Because they can't be filmed. So, there's the other thing. Like, you don't realize that. So it looks like she's just being insensitive. But she was like, I was...
Tamara's grandmother...
Mother was there too. So, and her brother and the son was there, Ryan.
Yeah.
With his girlfriend. But, like, she meant, like, she was trying to help, take
these kids who just watched their mother get literally.
I don't know if those kids were in it.
Neck braced and they carried her out like serious.
Yeah, so that's crazy. They wanted them to go to the hospital because like Vicky had no clothes. They cut her pants off her and all like this stuff. So they wanted someone to go there, even just give her sweatpants. So of course Megan was just like, "Oh, okay, oh."
Yeah.
And I was wow.
I get
the monotone level was
I get and I don't get.
Impressive.
Like I get both sides of their story because
I
get
do
it.
too.
Because Megan and Shannon, Shannon said because Megan
had
to
with her.
Well, Megan had to relay the message to Shannon.
Yeah,
so that was
she didn't know.
So she didn't get the extensity that they explained it to her. So she kind of got like a pass. But like I get the point where they're like, why am I going to go sit in a hospital with somebody who doesn't like me? To me, if I was Vicky, I wouldn't have wanted to wake up and seen two people that I didn't like. Well, not wake up, but had to be around. And plus, like, no offense, like, especially since you don't like them, but what are you going to do for them? I get the part where now they didn't say it till the very end, like, bring her clothes though.
Yeah, that was more. That was like more in the reunion and stuff where they kept suggesting that you could bring her. I mean, look, maybe they said it and we didn't always hear everything because, I mean, that happens
like,
too.
To me, it's like, what are they gonna do? Go sit in there and look at her? They're not gonna hold a conversation. If anything, they would probably make her more stressed and start to fight with her.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't honestly. I wouldn't expect either one of them to go because, like we said, they aren't friends. They're not friends.
I know
with her.
they all said they would, but they're not. Like, it's like,
I don't know. They have to. I mean, season 12 proves Kelly Dodd wrong, so we'll just leave that at that. That she looked like bad, but I mean, I get where they were coming from, why they wouldn't go. I mean, it was weird. It was a weird situation.
But I guess also, I mean, I'll talk a little bit about the 12 thing. Because the difference of this and the 12 where Kelly is coming from is 12's looking at what happened to Vicky in Iceland more. She's looking at her like she's having a panic attack, which I 100% agree with Kelly. She looked at her and she knew nothing was wrong. Yeah. But in this situation, they did just flip a car. This was serious. She got helicopter flown out of there. So
although we know she it was very dramatic and took this to the as far as she could take it once even she got home. But it's still, at that point, they didn't know what was happening to them. Yeah. They didn't know anything about, and they didn't let us know anything either. They kind of kept it really hush-hush in the dark. But, I mean, it's what it is. It was a weird situation. I don't really think that they needed to be, like, going
persecuted.
No, I don't think. I think they took this.
They took it a little too much for them.
But I think at the time, the day of, I could understand why they were so angry because.
Well, yeah, they were just injured.
Yeah.
They don't.
And I think
know.
they were
it's
just like Tamara cursed to them and all like that. And I can understand because she was just, coming back from something where she could have killed them all. And I think that's like where her mindset was.
Yeah.
But I think she calmed down a little bit after the fact. But they did give Shannon a pass and really not Megan, which I thought wasn't kind of really right because. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It was just kind of weird, but this thing goes on for a long time about this dune buggy fight, and oh my gosh.
Well, because then it carries over to the fact that she tried to call and check up on her Shannon, and then Vicky didn't pick up the call and didn't. Yeah. So there was all that. Like,
so then there's the reason to be mad at somebody. I mean, it's just like every little thing you turn around, somebody is mad. Those are some heels. Somebody is mad at somebody for some stupid little reason. Yeah. You didn't call me. You looked at me wrong. You didn't bring me a casserole. You didn't come say hello. Oh my god!
I don't get this casserole thing, Vicky. Isn't the casserole like schlop put together? In my opinion.
Well, yeah, a casserole is kind of like something you can make and freeze or something like that too. Typically they're like that, but back in the day, if somebody was say sick or injured or somebody died in their family, you'd bring them like a casserole. Like it's a very old timey thing to be like bringing up.
I don't know. At least pick something different. But do any
of these women look like casserole making women?
Megan couldn't make box rice.
That's what I'm saying. Like even Tamara doesn't look like a. I mean, I don't see any of them.
It's not this season. It's next season. But literally, I have it. Part of my comments for season 12 is Vicky is calling Tamara and she's making a cheesecake and she's telling her stop. You don't know how to cook. So where do you want these women to get casseroles from? Good.
She didn't even know that the brown is normal on top.
No, I know, but still, like you're telling her to stop trying to make a cheesecake. But what about the casserole? I mean, I guess maybe because it is slop put together. I wouldn't even know like what type of cuisine restaurant to go get a casserole from. Like I don't even know what kind of cuisine even is casserole.
It's like a green bean casserole. Like, you remember that one from Thanksgiving where people put the soup and the green beans in the
I don't know. I feel like soup is better, though. Like, just plain old soup.
Yeah, I don't know.
Weird. I'm sorry. It's just so weird, her and this damn casserole.
Tamara also, when they go to Ireland, she has problems with Kelly, but we can get more into that when we get to Kelly, but...
We already did Kelly.
Did we really cover Kelly
all in the beginning. We kind of covered enough of Kelly, I felt like.
Well, Megan is the one that takes a trip to Ireland, so we can, like, double down there, but... So, like, Megan... we said is trying to have a baby. Yeah. She's doing the IVF to get pregnant, and there's Jim again, like you said, disinterested. I don't think
it's so weird to me.
I don't think he's disinterested. I just think the fact that he's done this already, because when he has the baby, if you see him in season
He
12,
does
he's
actually
really
more
into this
interested,
baby.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he is very into
and
it.
he wanted a boy, so
Yeah, and he's real into it. And that baby is cute.
it's cute.
It's real cute.
I've never seen a baby giggle and smile that much in my life.
That baby is really cute.
It is a cute baby.
But she has to do all this stuff. Luckily, her mom's there to help.
One of my favorite thing is every time she had to go to the doctor for, like, I guess the two big parts, the insemination and then, like, starting it.
Yeah.
In the waiting room, there was always a party the night before, so she recaps the party the night before with her mother in the same waiting room twice, and I just think that's so funny. Which, honestly, it's probably better that her mother did go, because we all know Jimmy would have not wanted to hear recap a fight.
He was actually pretty good, though, because when they find out that one of the... They put 2 embryos in, a boy and a girl.
Yeah, I think she ended up having 4 in total.
Yeah, and they put 1 in 1. And when they find out that the boy didn't take and the girl did, she gets very upset. And I said to you, he whispered to her, "Don't be upset because she didn't know at the time which it was."
I mean, you kind of had to figure
said,
it was the girl.
He said, "There's a little baby inside you that really that wants you to be its mommy," meaning like she or whichever one it was survived so that you could. So I mean, he can be sweet, and sometimes he says stuff to her. Like he said at the reunion that he could see himself, and he didn't always like the way he acted. He just
that was
didn't
the
realize
prior
it.
season.
But they did say that in that one that when she would. Yeah, at the end of the last season, that when he'd come home, of course, the first thing they wanted to do was film with them because he was here now and film.
Yeah.
And like that was his thing which I understand that it's like that he just came home. He wants to just be home. He just wants to be home with his wife, but now he's got to be on for the filming.
Yeah.
So that
especially since last season was so much of her being a stepmom, like you know what I mean. So of course they wanted to get her and the oldest daughter all together. So yeah, it was hard for them.
More than anything, it's like what the frig, candles, Jim. Candles?
Oh my god, yeah, the candles,
Jim. I thought that was
so
really kind of
random,
cute though, but he's into these candles and he's like partnering up with this group of people or friends that they have to make this candle and open this candle shop and stuff. And I'm just like, and they continue the whole candle situation like. At the end of the season, they bring it back up again.
Yeah,
that's what the end of the season party
is.
It's
another candle party.
And I'm just like, what the hell with these candles? But I mean,
serious.
I think which is what brought him back this season is the fact of the candles because I think he realized
I can promote things like
I can promote these things. So yeah, let's do it. And I think that's what saved him. But
well, he probably also realized too if I give them this candle thing, they may leave me alone at home. Type of thing, like you know what I mean. If you set up certain times to film, where if you notice, a lot of the times, I feel especially Beverly Hills, they always shoot outside at a lunch where they may try to take it away from the home, so they don't have to bother the people at home. So if you schedule in where you're like, he's like, yeah, I'll film. You can come film at my candle shop. Then you're not home. You don't have to worry about it.
Have to worry about it, but
it's a better idea.
And then she is an advocate for colon cancer because
I forgot she does that little thing.
Leanne. Why do I always want to call her Luann? Leanne, who died. So they asked her to go speak in Washington. So she's telling Heather about it. So Heather volunteers to go with her. It's like very early in the morning that they take this trip and they go out there, and they were actually really funny together. Yeah. Because there was some stuff that she was saying, like she's like, I feel like a prostitute here, and she said, yeah, well, you know, she said because everybody in Washington was all in suits. Yeah. So she goes, yeah, kind of. So she goes, yeah, we kind of. So then she said to Heather, she was like, am I at least look like a high end one? And Heather like laughed and said, yes, you do. Like it was just they had some funny, cute little moments, which is weird because they just don't seem like to me they go together at all. She did really well with that. And then she suggests the Ireland trip.
Yeah, which was so weird.
Well, she said that she wanted to, which there were so many quacky moments in that whole thing. She said that she wanted to go to her and Jimmy wanted to check out their heritage. Yeah. And that apparently, I didn't know her parents' name, I guess her maiden name was it's King, O'Toole. But her mom's maiden name is O'Toole. So she apparently has, big time Irish in her, so she wanted to go to Ireland to see, like...
She was meeting with somebody to talk about.
Yeah, she was meeting up with somebody to talk about it and do that kind of stuff. So it was very interesting. The person that she met up with though told her when she got over there that in this particular town, you could tap on anybody on the shoulder and chances are they know an O'Toole or they are an O'Toole. And it was funny because her and Kelly went out onto the streets to try to find an O'Toole and there was not one to be found.
I mean, they did find one.
Found one, but
She did look like the mother, though, when they put the pictures up next to each other.
She put a picture next to her, and it was weird that they did kind of resemble each other. But
it's like if you said that, like, that would be like if you were like, oh, go into another country, go into this town and find it. You have to remember that, like, it's like a tourist destination.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're never going to truly, the chances of finding somebody else is going to be harder.
Yeah. It's, tricky, but it was funny to watch them. Yeah. There were so many bad things on that trip going to Ireland. Oh my word. But everybody when they left was talking, right?
No.
On the way to Ireland?
Everybody talking on the way home from Ireland?
No, on the way to Ireland.
To Ireland. I think they were okay. They weren't great, but they were getting along.
Yeah, I thought everybody was like okay.
I think they were kind of like iffy with Kelly still because of the sushi party.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of coming off of that, so it was kind of like Shannon definitely was not good with them.
I think
it was really Shannon who was
Kelly
kind of like
apologized to a couple of people, but she was okay because she was, remember at that one point she was trying to get Kelly drunk. Like I think she was okay with Kelly because I think Kelly apologized.
That was after. No, she was trying to get Kelly drunk because the day before Kelly got drunk and was yelling at everybody, and then Tamara pushed Kelly in the store. It's my mouse.
Oh.
What?
I didn't know. Sorry.
No, so she was not okay. She was trying to get Kelly drunk, they were saying, so that she could make Kelly act out and have more ammunition against her.
Yeah, there was a lot of people that were doing a lot of crazy stuff because then even after that night turns crazy and...
It's on the flight to the...
no, but the night... I don't know what that sounds. It sounds like a train, but we don't have a train.
I don't know. No, but it was the van ride to the airport that night because they had been partying, and they just went on.
It started. Yeah, but that's what started it was that they were going to go. Kelly initially said she wasn't going to drink. She wasn't drinking.
Yeah, at the dinner.
And then that was when Shannon kept ordering her a drink, and she kept saying, no, I'm not drinking, no thank you, because Vicky had warned her, like, you shouldn't do anything because I think they're going to ambush you, I think they're trying to set you up, something like that. So she was trying to do the right thing, but she kept ordering the drinks.
Yeah.
So she went
to Vicky and said, let's go out.
And then
Vicky asked Tamara to come.
And Tamara said, no,
I don't want to.
She was going
and then
to
they
bed.
Said, okay, and then Tamara... And so Kelly gave up. Tamara then took Vicky and all the other girls, I think, too, with her.
Yeah, down to...
I think all of them except for Megan.
I think Heather was asleep. No, they all,
they all went except for Megan.
They all went down.
They partied. Tamara sent a selfie of her and Vicky, texted it to Kelly, and then she came out. They got into a fight in the hallway, which my favorite part is Heather, of
trying
course,
to record at 2:30 in the morning.
And Vicky's like, you're really going to record this? Yeah, because they probably told anybody, if you get extra footage on your phone, they'll probably give you like a couple extra bucks on your paycheck. So
but I think she was just thinking that Kelly doesn't remember certain
that
things.
Too. I think it was
but
more
Kelly
for
wasn't
safety.
Drunk then. Because Kelly didn't go out. So that's what was ironic.
Yeah.
But
and then I think they had like a few hours, and then they got in the van to go to the airport.
It just went ugly.
And everybody was pretty much screaming at Kelly.
Yeah, well, because then Kelly unleashes and tells every little thing she has in her head
that Vicky's told her.
Yeah, that Vicky's told her that Eddie's gay, that Shannon's husband beats her, and
Eddie's cheating or something.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you think she just unveils unveils this.
That's unveil.
Unveil.
Yeah.
This, but the thing is, the stuff that she's saying is from basically the beginning of the season when there was when she was having all these issues with these other girls. Yes. So she had told her that.
So Vicky shared a lot, and she said, I probably shouldn't have, but
yeah, because that was at that time where now she was okay with them.
Yeah,
but now she kept it in her back pocket, waiting to throw it.
Yeah, and she did just that. Yeah, that party was crazy.
What?
No,
that party was crazy.
No, I meant that like the van ride was crazy on the way home. It just went on and on and on. The whole trip, the whole ride to the airport.
They didn't stop.
Yeah. I don't even know how they got on. And then as they're getting out of the van, you hear Heather telling Tamara, just don't even talk to her.
Where is she? Don't go near her.
Just stay away from her. Don't go near her. Because it also got out of control because in Ireland, when they were walking around in stores...
Yeah. They got drunk on their pub crawl.
Yeah. And that was the weirdest fight that I've ever seen. Because that's where I think it really started. It started with
Tamara was walking.
Kelly was doing that stupid flip nose thing.
Yeah,
where you're
like, oh, you have something in your shirt.
And nobody likes that. Nobody likes it.
And she did it to one person.
And she kept doing it. And she did it to Heather. She did it to Shannon. She did it
to
Vicky.
Everybody. And Vicky was the one that got upset, really. And she's like, stop doing it. And then Tamara was walking away. And she's like, stop doing it. And she's like, don't come back here or something.
She said, just keep walking.
Yeah, nobody wants you
and
here.
She said, what are you're talking to me or something like that?
Yeah, and then they came back, fought, and then they left, and Kelly told Shannon, foolish mistake, obviously, because she's close with Tamara.
Her daughter doesn't talk to her or something.
Or something like that. And then Shannon tells her when they go into a store, and Tamara pushes her.
But the thing that, they said she shook her shoulders. The thing that cracks me up is, why is why is Kelly so surprised that Shannon, who is buddy with Tamara, went back and said that?
I don't know, because it's not like anything.
Why are you surprised?
You don't talk about the kids.
But why are you so surprised? You didn't think she was going to... And I know it's because Kelly wasn't paying attention, and she just said the first thing that came to her little flippin' head, like she does, and then that's what happens. Yeah. Because that's what happened at the 70s show. The 70s movie, that's how they all ended up not fighting, is because she walked out going, no wonder your husband cheated on you, because she throws the little jabs wherever she can.
Yeah, which I've noticed too. That's the other thing too with Kelly. It's not like she's like saying things like the other women will say, you did this. Kelly runs out of arguments, so she goes up to Shannon. She's like, shave your chin hair, you old lady. Like, it's like you're like when you start fighting. Yeah, you're fighting with like you're talking about appearances and this and that. That's not even fighting anymore. You're just you're being a bully.
When the way she fights, she's down and dirty. Yeah. She's a bully. There's no way around it. Yeah, and she doesn't even see it. Like, that's the worst part. Care. She doesn't see it. She doesn't care. And then she thinks she could just apologize later for saying some stuff that's really just like really bad. Oh yeah, really bad. It's just I don't know. So Heather is the next one that we have. She doesn't really have too big of a storyline. She kind of was just like the one that was like kind of trying to move people along and stuff. But I think they were trying to go with like her and Terry having problems, which you
already tried that the prior season.
It just doesn't work because they don't really have problems.
No.
And she did say he was supposed to slow down when they started building the house. That was the whole premise of selling the house and the whole bit. And she said he's actually worse than he was before.
Well, so now he got the botched show and everything like that. So it's and now they were working on the skincare. So it's like he's got a lot going on. And they wrote the book. They did the book.
And they wrote a book. So yeah, they had a lot going on because he said that which I thought was really sad, that the daughter was sending him pictures of empty chairs. Yeah. Because he wasn't, like, showing up to things. So she made, like, in the very beginning, a whole trip for them to go to Turks and Caicos and, you know, get together as a family so he could be with them. But, like, listen, your father is a plastic surgeon, and some of the stuff that he does do is life-saving. So, like, you can't, like, ask him not to do it, because then you're not living in that house. So pick your poison, you know. But she did say that he's the one that likes the big houses, not so much her, because she said she was happy in that little house. Yeah, like I think she liked the closeness. But of course, if you're going to offer somebody a big ass house like that where your luggage has rooms, I mean, you're gonna be fine with it. But I really didn't think Heather and Kelly were going to be able to make this work, because she got in the car, Heather, after that sushi luncheon, and she was like crying to Terry, and like, I don't want to be around anybody like that, this and the other thing. And she got them together. And that's one thing I will say about Heather: if you apologize to her properly and the right way, and you admit up to your problems, she will accept your apology and she will let it go. Yeah. So I do have to say that about her. Like, if you give her a genuine apology, she will let it go. And Tamara brings them together and tries to like smooth it over and make it the best. Though was at the 70s party, she came in, Heather, as a roller girl, like from the 70s, and she claims Terry pushed her and she went right down on her, but that had to hurt. But she just went, because she did good the whole night.
I kind of watched how when they played slow-mo, he kind of bumped into her, but her skate looked like it stopped spinning the wheel, so I think
she was anticipating him bumping into her, and she kind of pushed her own
like
self
the
back. I don't think he helped the situation.
The right foot looked like it was going, but the left foot looked like it got stuck. Another wheel getting stuck and not going.
Yeah, I don't think. Thing. Oh my God, we didn't do Shannon, did we?
No, we still have to do Shannon.
Oh, Shannon's crazy lady. So Shannon throws a 70 party. Fights break out.
Which is just, that is chaos at its best, because when you see Shannon fighting against Kelly and her husband, whatever, Mr. Leapfrog, whatever, they're fighting, and then you have her husband in the other room past the beats fighting with Vicky, and then
close to the face.
And then while that's all happening, Heather's skating around the party.
Yeah, I know.
And then you have Megan with her stomach out, holding her hands over her stomach in pain because she's doing the IVF. And then once they come together, once the fights are like merging into one, you just have like Heather hugging Tamra and like Megan standing over them, and they're all going, like giving the most serious reactions ever.
It was crazy because they were trying to say that Shannon set Kelly up because there was some girl, Jackie, that knows Kelly and knows her from the time that she was separated with the husband, and she obviously saw her somewhere out with a different guy that I don't even understand how she says this. Kelly says that she dated and she was engaged to. You weren't divorced yet, so you couldn't have, maybe in your mind you pretended to be engaged, I don't know, but you couldn't really legitimately be engaged. But this lady pointed this out that, but it wasn't you that she was with to the husband, knowing that you're going to start a fight. Then you see them sitting down all together, and you can see like something's going on.
Well, because they were looking for Vicky's purse, and they found out that the lady moved their purse or something.
Yeah, and I don't know why she did it. She just said I don't like purses or something. I don't know, but that turns out, small world, that lady was Megan's IVF doctor's ex-wife or something. So you missed that. She said, I met when she came out of egg retrieval, she goes, I met your ex-wife, she's a firecracker or something like that. And he said, that's a good way to put it or something. So I was like, okay, interesting.
I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the IVF scenes I skipped over because I didn't want to see the needles. So
this was like when she was in the recovery and they were just talking
sometimes
to her.
I skip through those things. Like if they say stuff that's like a plastic surgery scene, I could completely miss it.
But Shannon's big thing also is downsizing the house. They're selling the house, which personally, I think David convinced her to do this so that's one less thing. Oh, lots of sirens.
Holy moly.
So that's one.
What the hell is going on?
They dropped something up above. He never drops anything.
You never hear him up there.
No, he dropped a little something. So that, to me, was David's way of one less thing to worry about.
Yeah, here's my thing. I think David tried with the vow renewal. Didn't feel like it fixed anything or like try to smooth it over with her.
Let's not skip over that. David took this to the next level and did the vow renewal on her birthday.
I forgot it was this season.
That was this season. He went
I don't have to say what a vow renewal means.
Well, we all know it's the jinx. And he went and did the vow renewal, and on her birthday, no less.
Yeah.
At the place where they got married originally.
Yeah.
Talk about double, triple down, and wow, he really went.
I think he did that to try to soothe it over, make her think everything's okay, so that he could continue doing whatever he wanted. He could have.
You know what though? I was thinking about it. He could have been genuinely trying to see if he could make it work, like his last ditch effort. But here's the thing, Shannon is a pain in the ass. I mean, we like her because we like to see her be a pain in the ass, but she's a pain in the ass. She does nag and pick on him, and
which one of the things is the kids end up doing this performance of their Ladies of Rock. They go and do their little performance, and them practicing is absolutely hilarious because Shannon's there. She grabs the mic, she's singing, she's dancing. You got to scream it. This is rock, and it's absolutely hilarious. But the kids are not having it. They're annoyed. They're like, "Can you please?"
Just she sometimes is over.
It's a little
much. Over the top. She's a little much. And she needs all the attention. She really does. I'm convinced of that.
Yeah, watching the Iceland episode where she was with the Vikings, she was like, I'm going to go stand with them. Like, she does need attention. Yeah, no,
she definitely needs attention because she does that in season 12. There's fights that she's starting that don't make any sense. Yeah. Like, why are you homing in on this? Let it go.
Yeah,
I don't know. Some of it's weird, but
I think, what was I just going to say? No, I was agreeing with you that she does that, but I don't know if I think he genuinely was like one of those husbands where, like, we know Simon and well, I don't even know about Don, but Brooks and all these guys, they didn't like them. They genuinely didn't like who they were with. I don't think he like hated her, but that's why I think he did do the downsizing of the house, was so that he didn't like royally screw her over where now she has to figure out this house where they put them in a rental, and because my God, what is going on out there? They put him in the rental, and at the end of season 12, What the hell? It doesn't stop. Now there's another truck.
Is it Santa?
Oh my god, it could be Santa. Wait. What? Santa? So it wasn't Santa.
No.
I think it was an actual medical fire emergency, so we do apologize and we hope everybody's well, but it really sounded like it.
But Santa should be coming this week.
So I mean, here's the issue. We know Santa has done this before, so that's why we acted the way we did, and we want to apologize. All right, so let's go back. I was talking about how I don't think he actually hates her. I think he does care about her, so I think... What the hell was that?
That was a dog outside.
It sounded like another siren. I was fearful again. No, but I think if you watch the season 12, one of the things they said is they've moved out of the rental house in 2 separate homes. So I think that's why he did that. So there was no house they'd have to split up in the divorce. Like they got to move out of the... Yeah. Like I think he I don't think he hated her. I just think he realized she's not the person I'm supposed to be with.
Yeah, and so I think he was trying to figure out how he was going to get out of it. And I think, he was
trying to set it up so it wasn't super bad on his end.
I think he was doing that. And then...
I mean, I do think the vow renewal was... It's always one more try of luck. Well, but now when you hear her talk about the vow renewal in season 12, it sounds the same thing that Dawn did.
Yeah.
Where they had, good fun time, and then as soon as it ended, they were back to...
It was over. But the sad part was, there was some sad parts for her that I felt bad for, where they were talking about the mother-in-law came to the kids.
Lock show.
And she said that she pushed him to have an affair and stuff. And then it comes out later with other girls when they go to the spa that... apparently Vicky knew some information that I guess Shannon shared when they were friendly and talking, and she said that the girl that he had the affair with would have dinners with his family, and that they liked her better, and that's just so weird. And that they said he was happier when he was with her and stuff.
I don't think this... I can't remember where this fell. This is our issue when we watched the seasons too close. Her own mom liked the woman that David was with more. Remember?
Did she?
Yes, no. Shannon's mom said that
she
after she found out
she went and hugged him and said, "I love you," which I mean I understand.
What the hell,
because
Shannon?
I think she knew Shannon was trying to work on it, so she wanted him to know we are not we're not going to be taking this out on you or something. I think
it made her feel he just had I think maybe if it was after, but it seemed like it was very close to finding out about the affair.
But there was a lot of stuff that was coming out with Shannon. That, and then there more stuff was coming out about the girl that he had the affair with, and that apparently it was a year long, or more. It was a long affair that he had. It wasn't just oops, I did this for a week or something. So that was really sad. And then they were also saying Kelly was giving out information about that he beats her.
Well, and apparently that's what Vicky told her.
Apparently something happened where she went
night she found out the affair.
Yeah, he locked himself in one of the daughter's rooms, Adeline's room or
something.
And
they had went out and got drunk, and she had cut her knees.
Yeah.
And she was super drunk, and she brought him home, and he locked himself in. And then that's where she tried to bust down the door. She had bruises on the side.
And then she went down to Puerto Vallarta with Vicky or something, and that's when she...
Or I don't know, maybe she just went with him to try to rekindle. It was something, because she said she sent him photos or something.
No, I don't.
No, she said she had called Vicky that night. She didn't go down with him.
Yeah, but then Vicky saw her or something with
the photos.
Oh,
that she had showed everybody.
But yeah, so she ended up having a party for Tamra because she got mad because Tamra invited Vicky and Kelly to her competition. She ends up having the end of the season party for Tamra. For winning her competition, which Tamra did win.
Yes,
but they didn't speak to really Kelly or Vicky, and then Tamra gives shirts to them.
Yeah, and that's kind of how it ends.
And that's how it ended. But it was just I don't know. It was a lot in that season. I feel, and a lot of back and forth, a lot of trips.
Well, a weird thing to me though with Kelly, with the mom from David's mom, is that even Tamara mentions it, that the mom goes up to her and Kelly and divulges all this information. She didn't know who she was at first.
I think Tamara introduced herself. She said,
"No, I know, but still, to Kelly, it seems like she was talking to a complete stranger, which is so weird that she just started revealing all this to a stranger." I don't know. I just think that's weird.
But they said that she came in the reunion. They said that the mom came and said to the girls, I guess Shannon's girls, "Whatever happens tonight, just remember Grandma still loves you," or something like that. Something weird, as if
Grandma knew she was plotting.
Yeah, Grandma was plotting. Grandma watched the show. She knows what she's doing.
Grandma says, "My time to shine."
Yeah, she knew what she was doing.
She was trying to get a real granny spinoff.
This is the last excitement that you'll have for a season or two, because Well, A, Heather's gone, and B, season 12 is just like, what the
It's
hell?
such
What the hell? Like that little kid says. What the hell?
Oh, the tear talk. Yeah, no, it's just, I mean, but we're not going to even into, we'll get into it then, but yeah, it's
brutal.
It's rough. It's such, what it is, it's so,
such a hard watch.
Because it's so disappointing, right? Because we were saying, okay, you know, after a while, the original Housewives were getting boring.
Well, it was the same fight over and over
again. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the first few seasons, they were getting boring because it wasn't true Housewives. And then it started to pick up. It was getting the format. It was going good. Like, now it's like we were just coming off this peak season of, like, a housewife with this Brooks and the cancer scandal. And, you know, this was, like, the repercussions of it. And they're still facing some of those repercussions in season 12. And they're kind of starting new things. And it's just so boring. So it's like,
it's really, that's the only word, is boring.
It's really dull compared to everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much it, though, for this.
I don't know how we're going to get through season 12. God.
I mean, we did, but my comments are not very nice.
I don't know.
So thank you guys so much for listening or watching this episode. Hopefully you'll give this episode a good rating. You can give us a 4, or don't even know. Wait, what do I say now? We hope you'll give us a 5 in the holiday.
4. That's what you said.
Give us a 5 in the holiday spirit. Make sure you subscribe.
She really wants to say pray for her, but there's no prayers.
Make sure you subscribe and follow and turn on notifications so you don't miss out if we put a bonus episode up. We have some holiday episodes coming out. Don't forget, every Monday we post our weekly podcast. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you like and don't give us a thumbs down. Instead, leave a comment telling us how we can improve.
Please check out our other podcast. We talk about it all.
Yes, we put episodes up every Wednesday. And I think that is all. Obviously, episode 12 will be up the next day if you're listening to this on Saturday when it came out. And next weekend we'll do 13 and 14. And then 15 and 16 and we're done.
Yeah.
We're getting close. And I'm hearing big drama. Big drama.
Really?
All right, so thank you so much for listening or watching. Go ahead, say your line.
Hit the button. Hit the button. Hit the button. Hit the button. I don't know. Which one? You pick one. Hit the button.